Hello, and welcome to the first episode of Sports Card Investor. This is going to be a fun journey, and I am happy to have you along for the ride. My name is Jeff Wilson.
It's one person coming in from China, and we have it under control. It's going to be just fine.
It seemed like this was an issue contained to China.
The city at the center of the outbreak in China and two others going on lockdown.
The risk is low in the United States.
I believe they are going to have it under control fairly soon.
So, this brings me to who I think is the single best card you could buy today. And that card is no other than Lonzo Ball. And the reason why I think Lonzo Ball's cards are so good.
Oh man, baseball cards making headlines again. I don't know if you guys saw this, but a new record has been set for the most valuable baseball card in history. Somebody paid $3.9 million for this Mike Trout rookie card.
You go home and you start reading and you read the newspaper and you see the TV and you're like, oh my God, this is really happening.
We are hearing that they're going to make an announcement soon that this game is not being played.
I had so little time to make that decision.
The game tonight has been postponed. You are all safe. And take your time in leaving the arena tonight.
The word that just came out just moments ago is the NBA is going to temporarily suspend the season from now.
Mike Trout is setting baseball history again, this time off the field. A 2009 Trout rookie card sold this week for $3.84 million.
Players sitting things out during the pandemic, but still making history. Mike Trout, his rookie card selling at an auction for a modern-day record of over $900,000.
In this series, we're going to break down 2020 all the way to 2025. 2020 was different. If you lived it, you remember, and if you didn't, this is a great video to get some perspective on what the heck happened, because it all went crazy in 2020 and went from the hobby to the industry. Cards blew up, YouTube blew up, prices blew up. It didn't matter what you bought, it went up. Everything went crazy, and we were all sitting at home. We were all told to go home. There was no sports on TV, and everyone turned to YouTube and social media, and everyone was enjoying this card craze. And the way I remember it was, man, a new channel a day. YouTube channel were popping off everywhere. Sports Card Investor was getting a lot of attention at the time. These channels also were growing at incredible rates because everyone's sitting at home. Scotty B Cards, Chris Sewell, Trike, Card Collector 2, Pac-Man, Sports Card Dad, Neo, Mojo Sports, Jabs, Sports Card Radio. We could go on and on. Many channels doing well in 2020 because everyone is sitting at home, and it helped the rise of cards tremendously. Social media and everyone sitting at home helped card. It was a perfect storm in 2020.
A lot of these guys were just back into the hobby for a year or two as well. And Sports Card Investor will not hide this. In fact, most of the guys here on YouTube will not hide this. The fact that they collected back in the 80s and 90s when times were a lot simpler, and they got back into it just over the last year or two.
Part of that storm was breakers. Breakers were making content. Now every big hit was on camera, and that was big for not only content, advertising, putting out the product. It was just in 2020, and everyone, I can't state this enough, and I don't want to mention it again, but everyone was sitting at home, nothing better to do, not really working. If they were working, it was kind of from home and half time because things were weird. Breaking prices started to go up. This made hobby box prices started to go up. We'll go over hobby box prices later. Backyard breaks come onto the scene late in 2020, instantly controversial. All of a sudden, the product was being marketed. It was exciting. It was also new to everybody, and a little bit of, wow, what is actually happening? It happened so fast. And we can't really go on in the video without talking about prices, because prices just went out of control.
This LeBron James sold for a new modern-day card record, $1.8 million last month.
Making some money.
We're talking about the sports card industry exploding during the pandemic.
With no sports on TV, sports cards were apparently the next best thing.
First, let's focus on the box prices because that's what we just said. So this will give you an idea of what things were doing at the time. The 2018 Prism basketball. It was hobby box was selling for $400. By the end of the year, it's selling for $3,000. The 2019 Mosaic basketball selling for $300 went up to $2,500. So that tells you where breaking prices were at in 2020, incredibly high. And then singles, any single you bought pretty much went up the next day. And we were having some all-time high sales. In 2020, the LeBron Exquisite 2003, his rookie patch auto, it's numbered to 23. It sold for $1.8 million. Then in August 23, and I'm curious how this sale would go today, but the Trout 1-of-1 Superfractor auto broke a record at $3.93 million. Just a huge sale in 2020. And it didn't stop. In the next month in September, a Giannis high water sale 2020. In September, $1.8 million. Insane. And so just base cards, a Zion Williamson 2019 base went from $75 up to $900. The John Morant from $40 up to $700. The Kyler Murray base Prism PSA 10 from $50 to $400. It was the LeBron 2003 Topps Chrome PSA 10. Started at $1,000 and went up to $7,000. Prices were, people were making money. It didn't matter. You buy, you sell, you hold. If you held, you didn't end well, foreshadowing. But prices went crazy in 2020.
Joe Burrow gold vinyl. Wow. 5 of 5. Nasty auto. Boom.
And last but not least, bingo! Kaboom!
One box for $350, and it is the Vladdy Superfractor auto. That's amazing.
And when their prices, when things are going crazy like that, a lot of money, well, businesses started popping up. Card Ladder launched in June 2020. Chris McGill and Josh Johnson created it. It was a transparent price index. Star Stock comes about, trying to be the stock market for cards, and we'll continue to talk about these companies in later videos to see how they pan out. It launched in early 2020. It raised $8 million. Kind of a vault situation, a lot of competition there at this point. In the future. Alt, founded in mid-2020, designed for a digital vault as well, a lending platform. It raised $75 million in a Series A round. Collectible, a fractional ownership platform. So lots of businesses moving in and whatnot. The live auction app, well, it launches in 2020, and it originally for Funko Pops, and now switching over to sports cards, trying to catch the wave. And if you lived it in 2020, you cannot forget the PSA madness. PSA turnaround times went from 30 days to 9 months. I mean, it took forever, but everyone kept sending in. Even it got so busy for PSA at one point, they had to stop submissions for certain levels, and they still kept getting boxes and still kept getting orders. I mean, it didn't matter the turnaround time, because when you got it back, you were making money, at least in 2020. That's how it worked. Everything in a slab went up. It wasn't basic economics. It was just a craze, and it was a COVID year, it was a pandemic, a once in a lifetime, and that's what was going on. And it gave a huge push to the sports car market to even where we are today in 2025. 2020 was so important to all of this.
Moving.
And it wasn't just PSA that saw the backlog. BGS couldn't keep up. SGC was seeing love.
When this whole shutdown and everything started this year, many people like myself started going through their old collections and started sending their cards off to PSA. So they got inundated with all of these new collectors and people, trying to get all this stuff graded. So I have gotten a number of emails from PSA about them hiring. They've been hiring graders, customer service, all kinds of positions.
And so grading was on fire. I mean, and you could still argue it's still big, but nothing like 2020 for sports cards. And all of this led to the retail explosion. And it was entertaining to see. It was laughable, because at Target and Walmart, you have people fighting and yelling and screaming and standing in lines and trying to get product and take it all before anyone else could get it. You had people that worked at Walmart or Target, employees trying to make deals to try to get the stuff. And you'd buy it for $20, $25 a blaster box, and you sell it for $100 to $150 on the retail market, or excuse me, on the resale market. It created, and no one had anything else to do. And even when some people did have to go back to work or do things, there was still this little community that was going hard trying to scalp this stuff. And it was impossible to find. If you were me or someone that was not a scalper, went into a Walmart or Target, there was nothing there. It was all gone. It got so bad to the point where they had to start limiting, hey, you can only buy one at a time.
Shoppers at a Brookfield Target were forced to run and hide after a fight this morning in the parking lot.
Police say it all started with a disagreement over trading cards.
And in 2020, it wasn't without scandals. Every year there's going to be some scandals. It's early talk of loaded boxes. Are breakers getting special product? Some of the hits are off camera, or cards still moving off camera. The cameras weren't as well set up back in 2020. Allegations of shill bidding. Trimming scandals back in 2020. So every year we go over, we'll get deep into some scandals. This year in particular, it was all hype. It was all to the moon. It was all sunshine and rainbows and what the hell is going on, and people processing and enjoying a rebirth and this craze of the pandemic. So much so, celebrities and mainstream started moving in. Logan Paul in October 2020, he opens the first edition Pokemon box, gets over 10 million views.
Hey, what did I pay for this? You paid $350K. It's a lot of money for a little box of cardboard. This is great. I also bought some heavy packs from you. Yes. Let's go have some fun, huh?
3, 2, 1, rip it. Let's go! Chancey! Yeah! Yeah! 3, 2, 1, pull it!
He frames it as this $1 million box break, and he starts getting heavy into Pokemon. In 2021, he even gets bigger into Pokemon. Gary V's influence on the hobby. He's still bringing attention to sports cards and trying to figure out his way to wiggle in. Steve Aoki's breaking product and showing his collection. Post Malone will enter the scene. Logic. Athletes like Kevin Durant, Derek Jeter, Andre Iguodala, Dwayne Wade, they're investing in card companies. The culture of cards went from something that's a nerdy hobby to all of a sudden it's becoming this status symbol. This you can't lose. And people would lose, and cards and prices would come down, but not in 2020. 2020 saw nothing but the rise, the craze, and YouTube channels, social media popping off, and it was a once in a lifetime for sports cards. Some of the power players then, Ken Golden. Golden auctions went from, in 2019, this is a perfect tell right here, $15 million sales in 2019. Well, by the end of 2020, its numbers were $40 million in sales. And that's just a golden auction. So imagine everywhere else. Nat Turner becomes a huge name in the hobby when he buys Collector Universe PSA. And somewhere lurking is Michael Rubin, billionaire fanatics, quietly making connections, controlling, trying to have some licenses with leagues, and he will pop up for sure as a power player moving forward. 2020 changed everything. All of a sudden, Instagram was slab walls, and it felt like you're in Las Vegas trying to sell stuff and move things, and gambling started coming a part of this. Discord and Facebook groups, 24/7 trade show is basically what they felt. You could scroll Facebook groups anytime and be looking to buy or sell any card you want. And this just all boomed and just spiked so much in 2020. Live started becoming a thing on YouTube, on Instagram, whatnot. People wanted to sell their cards and sell them to you quickly. That changed breaking quite a bit. And it was in its infancy stage in 2020, but things would change fast. And we can see in 2025, the sports cards craze, hobby, industry, I don't know, it's not dead, but it's nothing like it was in 2020, and prices will fall. Kyler Murray cards selling for 30, 40 grand. RPAs don't sell for that in the future. People, even players like Tom Brady cards who soared end up finding their correct price. Zion, Ja, we all know what happened to those prices. And so in the future, in the next video, we'll definitely get into more of that, more record sales. But by the end of 2021, the writing is on the wall that cards are correcting. breakers are becoming more important. They're definitely becoming distribution. Some of the content, certain channels are getting more love. Certain channels are peaking. The sports card radio of the world challenging everything. It gets exciting, and that'll be for the next video. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button. Subscribe if you have not. Hit the bell so you know when the next video of the series comes out. As always, thank you for watching and have a great day.
Oh! Yeah, it's kind of a book. Wow. A 2019 Topps Luminaries Baseball Home Run Kings Ultimate Book Card, 1 of 1. I've never seen this before.
It's one player?
So bat shaped into booklets?
No, it's multiple. It's like the triple threads deck, I think.
Yeah, it's like a deck, right?
Holy crap.
Oh my god.
It's that many signatures?
It can't be.
Yeah, it is.
Oh
There's
my
like 30
god.
signatures on there.
Good thing's a random box.
Features
I know.
50 of the game's greatest home run kings.
50? Jesus. That's like one of the best hits in the product.
Vlad Guerrero and his son Vlad Guerrero Jr., Rhys Hoskins, Ronald Acuna Jr., Shohei Ohtani, Stan Musial, Mike Piazza, Nelson Cruz, Paul Goldschmidt, Reggie Jackson, Manny Machado, Mark McGwire, Miguel Cabrera, Mike Trout, Juan Soto, Ken Griffey Jr., Chris Bryant, Kyle Schwarber, Jim Thome, you rarely see his auto, Johnny Bench, Jose Ramirez, Juan Gonzalez. We got Hank Aaron, Hideki Matsui, Ivan Rodriguez, Jeff Bagwell, Frank Thomas, Fred McGriff, Gary Sanchez, George Springer. Nope, there's more. There's 50. Big Papi, David Ortiz, Eddie Murray, Edgar Martinez, Francisco Lindor, Carlton Fisk, Chipper Jones, Dale Murphy, Dave Winfield. But wait, there's more. Bo Jackson, Darryl Strawberry, Cal Ripken, Yaz, Alex Rodriguez, Andre Dawson, Andres Galarraga, Anthony Rizzo, Aaron Judge, Adrian Beltre, Al Kaline, Albert Pujols. 1 of freaking 1.
1 of 1.
What up, everybody? This is Robert Ory, aka Big Shot Bob, and you're watching Professional Sports Cards. Hey, by the way, go buy my rookie card.